A visit to remember. Just before heading inside, Jasmina looked over her shoulder, back at the camp. She realized tonight, she whispered, "I know she did, and no matter what happens next, we're ready." Jack nodded together, and with that they slipped into their cottages. The door closed gently behind them as the stars stood watching above. But only one door truly closed, Jasmina's. Jack lingered outside for a moment, his hand all warm from her holding her. He looked down at the ground, then up at the sky. Deep indigo now, piercing by stars that blinked like heaven's silent applause. He smiled almost sheepishly and turned to make the short walk to his own cottage on the other side of the path. Every step echoed with thoughts of her laughter, her strength, her devotion to God, and the way she looked tonight under the starlight glowing with the kind of joy only heaven could give. As he reached the porch of his cottage, he sat on the steps for a moment, letting the night air wrap around him. A soft wind passed by, stirring the leaves like a whisper. His heart stirred too as he let out a sigh. "She's worth the wait," he murmured. It was not always easy. There was nights when he longed, felt overwhelming, when he would see her laughing barefoot in the grass or sitting on the edge of the dock with her Bible out tonight. When she leaned into him with such trust, such closeness. His love for her was not just deep, it was consuming. And yet he had made a promise not just to her, but to God. So he waited, not because he had to, because he wanted to. Because he knew that the covenant God had planted for them was too sacred to rush. And she, Jasmina, well, she was precious too, treating like anything less than a gift she truly was. He pulled out the small leather journal he kept tucked into his backpack and opened it to the page he had begun counting on. Day 345. He smiled and wrote, "Another day closer to forever." She's more beautiful than ever. Inside and out, I wanted to stay beside her tonight, sit there until the sun came up. But I knew I had to let her go, because loving her means honoring her, and honoring her means waiting. God, thank you for his love. Thank you for teaching me to be patient, helping me to be strong, help me lead well. And when that day comes, when I say I do, let it be a reflection of your faithfulness, because you brought her to me. And she's more than I ever prayed for. He closed the journal, slipped it back into his bag, and stood up slowly. His cottage door creaked open as he stepped inside, the warm scent of air welcoming him. But before he lay down, he turned towards the window and whispered, "Good night, Jazz. I'm counting the days." And across the camp, in her own quiet space, Jasmina sat at her desk, pen in hand, writing in her own journal, unaware that they had written almost the same thing. God was weaving something holy between them, and through the world rushed in to take shortcuts and settle for less, Jack and Jasmina had chosen a different path, one marked by honor, one protected by boundaries, one that awaited the blessing at the end of the aisle. And because they knew when that day came, it would be worth every second of the wait. Jasmina on Sacred Grounds by Celine.